Hello students. Last day we learned about preparation of soil, which is first step for crop production. And now we know in order to raise a crop successfully and profitably, it is very important to prepare a soil properly. And we also discuss about different agricultural implements which is used for soil preparation. Today, let us talk about seed sowing methods of crops in agriculture. So, what is sowing? Actually, sowing is an art of placing seeds in the soil at particular depth for good germination of the seeds. Sowing plays a major role in agriculture. Sowing is step followed the next to land leveling, and perfect sowing is placing the seed at a specific depth with the current amount of seed per unit or with good spacing between plant to plant and row to row. Uh, After completion the soil preparation, these important steps we should go for sowing or transplanting of the seeds in agri farming. There are different and various methods of sowing that depends on the crop which we select and available land and other natural resources for crop production. The various seed sowing methods are broadcasting, dibbling, drilling, seed dropping behind the plug, transplanting of seeding, hill placement, and check row planting. So one by one we discuss these methods. So first one is broadcasting method of seed sowing. It is an easy method of seed sowing. In this method, the seeds are randomly thrown on the prepared land or seed bed with hand physically. However, it can also be done mechanically also. Even through manual broadcasting is beneficial for some crops which are also economical too. While broadcasting, the farmer must ensure that the person should be enough skilled to broadcast the seeds. When we go to manual broadcasting, it consumes a high quantity of seeds or the seed rate is high in the broadcasting method of seed sowing. However, the machinery used in broadcasting is good and efficient as it scattered the seeds at controlled rate on the field. Second one is dibbling methods of sowing seeds. It involves the placing of seed in the holes manually or with specific instruments known as dibblers. Those dibblers can be operated manually by skilled labor or skilled farmers. The dibbler is the conical instrument in order to make proper holes while showing of the seeds in the field. There are also small hand dibblers which several conical projects that are suitable for small size seeds. Dibbling methods of sowing is time consuming sowing method. This method of sowing is mostly used for sowing of the vegetable crops. Okay. Third one is drilling method. Actually, the continuous flow of dropping the seeds in furrow lines made by the seed drilling machine and covering them with soil is the drilling method of sowing the seeds. The equipment used for drilling is known as driller. The driller may be either operated manually, mechanically, or automated. The seating of seed, metering is done before sowing for proper placement of the seed in furrow. We can use the driller for placing the seed in 2 or 3 rows at once. There also exists a conventional method where one person make furrows and drop the seed using driller, and the other person covers the furrow with the soil either manually or mechanically. Okay. Next one is dropping of the seed behind the plough. It is very common and conventional method of sowing the seeds. The method is mostly used for sowing the seed like maize, gram, wheat, barley, etc. A man dropped the seed behind the plough in this method. Plough consists of bamboo tube made with funnel-shaped mouth to drop this seed. But the disadvantage of this method is it time consuming as well as laborious method for sowing the seeds. Next one is hill dropping of seeds. The seeds are dropped in fixed furrows which are dug with fixed spacing, and in this method the space between row to row and plant to plant is constant. The seed is shown in a continuous stream of spacing row to row and plant to plant. Next one is transplanting. In this method, the seeds are first sown on the seedbed, and later, after some days, the young seedlings are further transplanted onto the main field at the particular plant to plant and row to row spacing. The equipment used for transplanting is known as transplantant. However, we can also transplant the seeds manually also. And the next one is check row planting. In this method of showing the we maintain the uniform spacing between plant to plant and row to row. The seeds are transplanted in the furrows in a parallel manner. The direction of two rows will be always particular in the check row planting method of sowing. Uh, the equipment or machine used for this method of sowing is known as check row planter. So, after sowing the seeds, when crops are grown one after the other, actually decrease the productivity of the soil. However, this can be overcome by adding manures and fertilizers to the soil. This increase the yield of plants and also restore the productivity of the soil. Therefore, manures and fertilizers are paramount for efficient crop production. Uh, so, now the question is, what is manure? Actually, manure is obtained from the decomposition of dead plants and animals. They essentially function as sustains to the crop. They help in the proper cultivation of crops, and addition of manure enables the soil to hold more water. Organic manures have acids that dissolve the nutrients with soil and make it available to the plant. There are several advantages of manure. Actually, it increases the water holding capacity of the soil. It makes the soil porous and facilitate the exchange of gases. The texture of the soil improves also, and the number of microbes increase in the soil. The process of adding manure is known as manuring, and manuring should be done at regular interval. Otherwise, the plants become weak. However, the use of manure has many drawbacks too. They can be rather difficult to transport and are not nutrient specific. And we know about fertilizers. A fertilizer is a chemical substance that contain, contains necessary nutrients such as nitrogen, potassium, and phosphorus to make the soil fertile, which is also known as NPK. N for nitrogen, P for potassium, and P for phosphorus, and K for potassium. Popular examples of fertilizers are urea, potash, and ammonium sulfate. The fertilizers uh, quickly providing plant nutrients and restore soil fertility. They are portable and easy to transport, and plant easily absorb fertilizers. Fertilizers improves and increase the productivity of many crops such as wheat, rice, etc. etc. However, these are chemicals and they have the potential to decrease the fertility of the soil if used constantly. Furthermore, it also pollutes the water bodies. Manures and fertilizers both are adding to increase the soil fertility and enhance the growth of the plant, but are distinct in same way or the other. The major differences between the manures and fertilizers are uh, as manures is obtained naturally by the decomposition of the dead plants and animals, whereas fertilizers are chemically substance and not typically natural. But the manures is not very rich in nutrients, whereas it is fertilizers rich in soil nutrients like nitrogen, potassium, and phosphorus. Uh, the great advantage of manures are it provides a lot of humus to the soil, but the fertilizer does not provide any humus to the soil and does for more information on adding manures and fertilizers, we have to know about the different form of fertilizers. And we also know that manure is the organic matter added to the soil to increase its fertility, and fertilizers are the chemicals that are added to the soil to increase its fertility. Fertilizers might harm the soil, but manure is environmental friendly method. So, in this video, we learn about different type of fertilizers, and we also knows the process of sowing the seeds into the crop bed. Okay, this is enough for today, and thank you.